we're going to upload the device file or the probe response from the NIST SMS testbed. So I'll go drag that probe document into the validator. This validator has been updated with a big improvement to the MTConnect transpiler, and therefore, in turn, a big update to the validation library. So after we validate this, it's mostly the same. We have an updated validation version. You might see that the validation messages look a little bit different. So now we've cleaned up the messages, we've standardized the messages to be a little bit more precise. All right, so now we're in the details of the exception report. So when I click on these items, it still jumps you down. You can still double click on different areas of the document, and it'll run a search, like an I'm feeling lucky type of search on the
model browser.
model browser. Yep. So not everything has that feature, but we are getting closer to a point where most things that come through on the MTConnect response document can have a direct link to the model browser. So I can show you that here in just a sec. The actual underlying validation that's happening, I refactored a lot of the validation code to make it easier to implement new validation rules. So this means that we can really expand out the coverage of validation across the documents. When we first started off a couple of years ago, we focused primarily on, okay, for each data item, let's validate the type and subtype and make sure that it fits within the right category. Now we support, I think, every attribute on all the data items, every attribute on components, every attribute on device, and then a handful of other tags are fully verifiable. So it's becoming a lot easier to integrate these new validation rules. The second biggest feature that we've added is this visualizer feature. So this came partially at another request, but it's something we've kind of had in the back of our minds for a little while now. We just went ahead and added it in. So clicking on the visualizer, this will visualize and show a hierarchical diagram of a device response document. So this is a probe response or a device configuration file. So this hierarchy diagram will show all of the devices and each device's components and their subcomponents and all of the data items under each component. You'll see here that it's color coded. Samples are yellow, events are blue, conditions are salmon, I guess.
Good choice, salmon.
Mm-hmm. So each one of these data items also indicates what the category is. The main text is the type that was specified, and then in the upper right corner is the name. Down below for some of these items is the subtype that was supplied. It's a little hidden feature there. You'll see here, like there's certain extensions that were implemented in this document. So not everything's going to be the right vocabulary for the standard. So for things that have exceptions, like validation exceptions, those will be highlighted with some sort of kind of halo effect, depending on the most severe exception. So in this case, we have a yellow halo. If we click on this, we can review what the warnings were. So yellow indicates a warning, and in this case, it indicates that there was an attempt to extend the standard. If we click on this link, it'll jump us directly to the model browser. This is what I was saying. There's a massive shift towards having more accurate links to the model browser. So now when we validate every aspect of the standard, we're going to try our best to maintain those links for each thing that we try to validate. So in this case, we validated the data item. So if you want to review the properties of the data item, it jumps you straight there.
Awesome.
The same concept applies to errors. So in this case, I hover over this, I see there's one error. I can click on it. It tells me, invalid subtype. There is no subtype for path feed rate override. So let's click on that. I want to verify that. So I'm going to look up the type, the data item type, event enum, and we're going to jump down to path feed rate override. Nope, no link there. I'll just search it. And what did it say? There's no override. And indeed, there is no override subtype for this event type.
Trey is correct. Okay.
The final feature here on this new visualization is you can take a snapshot. So if I want to include this in an email or a post, I can click that button and it will generate a new snapshot of this diagram. Pull that up and it is a massive this is a massive device file.
So the HTML view there was it's actually a much bigger view. Is that visualized sideways or down in
Both.
the page here?
So I can slide over to the left and right, up and down.
Why don't I see a left and right scroll bar on your page?
Because it's hidden.
Oh, there we go.
All
right. I see it. All right.
Yep. So yeah, I'm just using my mouse. My mouse wheel goes left and right too. So
that's pretty awesome.